The bakery slept. Moonlight poured through the window, painting the flowery counters silver. The smell of cinnamon and sugar still lingered in the air, soft and sweet, like a memory that refused to fade. But deep inside the big, shiny oven, something moved. "Psst, you awake?" whispered a tiny voice. A round chocolate chip cookie blinked his candy eyes. "Who, me?" "Yeah, you," said a gingerbread lady with frosting curls. "It's midnight." "Bake time's over. Why are you still warm?" The cookie stretched, crumbs falling from his crust. "I dunno," he mumbled. "Guess I'm just too baked to sleep." The gingerbread lady gasped, frosting eyes wide. "Then you're the chosen crumb." "The what now?" Chip asked, confused. Before she could answer, the oven light flickered on by itself. A deep rumble filled the bakery, rattling the trays. Then a voice boomed from the glowing oven door. "The midnight heat returns." The Dough King stirs once more. Every cookie, muffin, and croissant froze in terror. "The Dough King," Chip whispered. "The ancient dough that tried to swallow the bakery," said the gingerbread lady. "He wanted everything bland. No sugar, no flavor, no joy." Chip looked around. "Not on my watch. We can't let him rise again." The pastries gasped. Muffins hid behind cupcakes. The croissant fainted dramatically. But Chip climbed atop a rolling pin, puffed out his round chest and said, "Listen up, crumbs. Grab your frosting swords and sprinkle shields. We're going to save the bakery." And just like that, the counter came alive. The macaroons polished their coconut armor. The eclairs lined up in formation, and a brave cupcake waved a flag made of taffy that said, "Stay sweet." They marched through the bakery like heroes, past the sleeping teacups, through mountains of flour, and into the sea of spilled sugar. Flour snow fell softly around them, and the air shimmered with the scent of vanilla. As they approached the cold blue glow of the fridge, Chip slowed down. Inside, behind the fogged glass, a massive lump of dough snored. It was bigger than the mixing bowl, breathing slowly, chest rising and falling with heavy, doughy sighs. "That's him," whispered the gingerbread lady. "The Dough King." "We'll need sparkle sugar," said Chip. "The sweetest thing in the kitchen." He climbed the shelves, his cookie hands slipping on glass jars. Finally, he spotted it. A jar glowing faint pink with sugar crystals that looked like tiny stars. Chip took a deep breath and jumped, landing right in front of the jar. He scooped the sparkling sugar in both arms and turned back. "Get ready," he shouted. "We wake the king." He tossed the sugar high into the air. The crystals scattered like fireworks, pink, blue, and gold. They rained down onto the dough. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a twitch, a rumble, a slow, sticky growl. "Who dares sweeten me?" bellowed the Dough King, eyes glowing like melted butter. "I do," said Chip, standing tall despite shaking crumbs, because life without flavor is just plain boring. The Dough King rose, trembling, sticky arms reaching toward the pastries. But the sparkle sugar glowed brighter, so bright it filled the entire fridge with shimmering light. The Dough King howled, and the sound shook the bottles of milk. Steam hissed, frost cracked, then silence. The glow faded, and the Dough King stood still, smaller now, golden brown, smiling. I forgot how sweet life could be," he said softly. The pastries gasped, then slowly they cheered. "Chip saved the bakery," shouted the cupcakes. "Hip, hip, hooray," cried the muffins. Even the croissant woke up and clapped his buttery hands. Frosting fireworks burst above the counter, little splashes of color lighting up the dark kitchen. The oven chuckled warmly, its orange light glowing softly. "Balance restored," it said in a deep, satisfied tone. "Bake on, little crumbs." As dawn peeked through the window, the bakery returned to its quiet peace. Chip climbed back onto the tray, tired but proud. The gingerbread lady smiled beside him. "You really did it," she said softly. "Hey," Chip grinned, "just doing my dough tea." When morning came, the baker walked in, rubbing his eyes. He sniffed the air and smiled. He said, "Everything smells sweeter today." And deep inside the oven, a tiny cookie voice whispered, "Yeah, that's the taste of victory."